Unhelpful Thinking and How to Reduce It by Claire Roffman. This presentation will help you to understand what unhelpful thoughts are, how we discover them within ourselves, how we can reframe them, and why this will help you. Unhelpful thoughts are ways of thinking that are irrational, unrealistic, or overall negatively impact our well-being. It is easier to describe them with examples. The Rubber Brain, a book by Morris et al., offers examples on these unhelpful cognitive styles. First is black and white thinking. It's also known as all or nothing thinking. For example, saying, if I can't go to the gym for a full hour, I shouldn't bother going at all. That's black or white thinking. Catastrophizing is thinking only of the worst possible case scenarios. Jack didn't get the job he applied for. While he is still waiting to hear back from others, he decides he isn't going to get any and will likely be homeless. Blaming is blaming others for things without knowing the circumstances of their situations. You can also blame yourself for things outside of your control. Overgeneralization is drawing conclusions from one small situation. For example, saying you will always be ghosted if you get ghosted once is overgeneralization. Mind reading is thinking you know others' motives, reasoning, and thoughts, and further using it to explain a situation. An example of categorizing is Mitch says a comment that hurts your feelings. He says he doesn't like the shirt you are wearing. Mitch is categorized to you as a bully, and you categorize yourself as ugly. Masturbating is thinking things must or should work accordingly. For example, I must make sure everyone likes me. Everyone has these unhelpful thoughts. They just often happen without us realizing. It's not easy to identify our unhelpful thoughts, but now that we know the thinking patterns, we can be aware of what we're looking for. This is important because the first step in reducing unhelpful thinking is labeling it when it happens. This model is from the Rubber Brain. It illustrates that we first have to label our unhelpful thinking patterns before we can dispute or change them. Let's look at an example. Shira has a test tomorrow. She usually starts studying 2 weeks in advance. This test, she can only start studying 1 week in advance. She has worked extra hard and has studied all the content. When her friend Ben asks her if she's ready for the test, she responds, I didn't get to study. I'm completely going to fail. I should just turn in a blank paper because I am totally unprepared. We can now label Shira's pattern of thinking as catastrophizing. Now that we can label our thoughts, we can begin to dispute them. These questions are a helpful tool to ask ourselves. Let's look at an example. Anna and Chase met in class. They decided they wanted to hang out. Chase texted Anna to see when she's free, and Anna didn't respond. An hour later, Chase has decided that Anna has no interest in him. He decides she just gave him her number because she felt bad for him. Anna doesn't want to see me, Chase thinks. Now you can use these questions to rethink what Chase is thinking. Let's look at the last one. What would you say to a friend if they were thinking this way? Even in the worst case that Anna doesn't respond, that doesn't change or affect who Chase is as a person. It only reflects negatively on her character. If it continues to bother Chase, he can ask Anna why she didn't respond next class. This process helps us to dispute our unhelpful thoughts. In the beginning, I would recommend using a journal or something written to complete this process. There are also templates that are popular online. This process can be practiced in the moment or when you have a quiet time later to sit and think. Altogether, remember to label and dispute our unhelpful thoughts. We can use this short phrase, catch it, check it, and change it. This process takes time and effort, and sometimes it can be helpful to do this with a trusted individual like a friend or therapist at first. This process of reframing thoughts comes from a philosophy called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. CBT is a highly researched form of therapy. It is also backed by hundreds of articles. According to Curtis et al., it's coined a gold standard treatment. Certain parts do require working with a therapist, but this aspect can be completed individually to improve well-being. Finally, a study found that children who address and control unhelpful repetitive thinking patterns can better control and decrease their likelihood of developing anxiety and depression, according to Rod et al. In 2010. What this shows us is the younger we start practicing reframing our thoughts, the greater outcomes we can notice. So, remember, the next time you are feeling down, catch it, check it, and change it. Thank you.